Well, howdy there, Kane. How are you doing tonight, buddy? Doing pretty good with a week off of work. Are you just taking vacation? Glad you're doing well, though, buddy. It's always good to hear. Hey, Shadow. Vampire male. I don't know what that means, but okay. I think Shadow's just ready for his male vampires, huh? Oh, it's just supposed to be the vampire emoji. Perfect. You just got a week off? Well, that's good. They're training a new guy so you can take a little breather. Ooh, it's always nice to have a little bit of support, you know? Yeah, I know what it felt like when we hired our new guy, and I finally had a few moments to just like I don't have to be as on point, especially because he knows so much more than I do. So once he was on board, he was on board. I mean, you do like financial advisement, don't you? If I remember right. Whatever chat display I have, it's just stream elements, but doesn't surprise me that they don't differentiate. You know what? That chat looks real funky. Let's take a look at that real quick. Neither of you have ever seen this game. It's pretty good, from what I hear. I'm excited for it. I'm digging the music already. Dealing with people who don't get buying things empties your account. Oh, you deal with people who don't understand spending money means you don't have that money anymore. Interesting. Yeah, it's one of those that I've always heard like, oh, Vampire, but I've never ever seen a single person play it. So, go with a medium font weight. Maybe that'll show up a little bit better. And let's up that to... Let's try that. Let's see if that looks any better. Throw a little test in there. Still a little hard to read. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Click save. I was messing with some stuff earlier today. Ooh. That's definitely not what I wanted. Try that. And sometimes you get that person who's like, but my shoes, I need my shoes. I've never understood people who collect so many shoes. I think I own like 2, maybe 3 pairs of shoes. Because there's vampire, male vampire, and female vampire. You select male vampire, and apparently, oh, it spit the gender out. That makes sense. Hey, Waddles, have you actually seen this game? Played a few hours of it, but it was another game to fall victim to and be swallowed by your giant backlog of half-finished games. Don't call me out like that, Shadow. Let's see how this looks. It's a little too bold. I wish I could do like a split between 700 and 800. I feel like it needs an outline, but I don't see that as an option. So we'll just have to play with that a little bit later. Either way, you guys are waiting for the game. So let's get in it. Yeah, there have been a number of games that I have started and just never gone back to. Honestly, streaming is the only time that I ever finish a game, and it's usually because you guys are so into it. And then there are some games that I just love, like Outer Wilds or Hades. Those were a lot of fun. You played a bit, but didn't realize that part of it was the game itself and not not a glitch, so you returned it? You hear no game music? Should be game audio. Thank you for letting me know. Let's see. Game audio. Monitor off. Ah. That one. There you go. Yeah, weird. I just added that, and it's all its channels were ticked off or unchecked. The real question about the game, though, is it pronounced Vampyr or Vampyr? Vampyr. I'm going to vote on Vampyr. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I had no idea that there was actually no game sound or anything. Like I said, I switched stuff around. I had everything being captured by my desktop before, and now I've managed to get it to be split into different audio sources, so I can turn off the game audio anytime I want and leave my voice going. Anything, but now I am saying something, so I can mute myself, which is great. And I can also turn on desktop if I want to. But let me test this real quick, actually. While I have you guys here, I want to make sure that you hear alerts. Did that come through? Quiet, but it works. Yep, that did come through. Okay, perfect. Let's look at filters and filters. Okay, so if that's quiet, is this any better? The game itself might just be quiet. Oh, if the developers called it that, then I gotta go with Vampyr. I mean, it's the whole GIF conversation, right? The music might also just be quiet at this moment, so. They seem to be coming through about the same. Let's just, let's go into the options real quick. It's Vampyr? After missing the beginning of Outer Wilds, you kind of skipped on it to avoid spoilers. I don't blame you, Waddles, especially if you want to play it yourself. However, I do highly recommend, if you don't want to play it yourself, go back through and watch the VODs. They should all be going up on YouTube, and they're all on Twitch right now. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. No, I 100% agree. It's not GIF, it's GIF. It's with a hard G. G for graphical. Despite what the creator says. Ooh. Let's just go with normal mode. Won't be able to change difficulty though. GIF is peanut butter. It is. Oh, you do want to play it. Sad to have missed the streams, though. Well, I'm sad that you weren't there, but because you want to play it, I'm glad you weren't, because it would have ruined the whole experience for you, and it's definitely better to experience it yourself. 100%. Trying to do some Backlogs games, and Legends of Arceus. Jiff is Jeff's brother. How is Legends of Arceus?
12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis...
Oh, it paused it. Oh yeah, it's cutting it off again. Dang, I thought I fixed that. Oh. Alright, I'll have to look at that a little later.
Perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Hot dang.
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment, a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss.
I have not watched a single bit of it yet.
From the harshness and be born once more.
I'm gonna wait till it's all out before I try watching it. I don't want to have to wait every week for 3 episodes or whatever it is. See, Lauren and I are gonna watch it together, so when we get the time to watch it, I don't want to have to wait for the next episode if we happen to reach the end. Is this one of the famous plague pits of London? Oh god, I'm like a shambling zombie. I see red blood. It looks about how you felt a few days ago. You been sick, buddy? Or just hungover?
Thirsty. So thirsty.
Hey, lady. Who are you? Oh, you've had COVID. Dang, I didn't know that, buddy. How you feeling?
Everything will be fine again.
God, I can't even imagine.
My sweet brother. What have you done?
Mary! Oh, no. Mary! Hold on. Please, hold on. Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary. Mary. No. No.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad that it was his sister and not like his wife or something, because I don't think I could have taken that heartbreak right off the bat. That would have been way too rough.
No. What have I done? This horror. It's a nightmare.
Still very sad, yes.
No! Please, a moment, let me explain! These patrols are after me.
Are they after you, buddy? I mean, you just woke up in a plague pit and then killed your sisters, so... What else have you done?
No, don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here.
Yeah, you're telling me, buddy.
This can't be.
I hope they let me do like Assassin's Creed style stuff.
There's one of those.
No, please, stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on? Oh, Mary.
He's done a few voices
What
in
have
other
I done?
games.
What's all this about?
Has it fled? Shit, where'd it go?
Who's the voice actor? How do I...
Tricky bastards.
Did I miss something? Yeah, I mean, so far I'm really enjoying the VO. He's doing a great job.
It's a lynch trick.
I mean, listen to that heavy breathing. Oh,
Has it fled? Shit, where'd it go?
weapon.
Now,
Come back,
I
you
can defend
bastard.
myself.
Kill the thing!
Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice.
Can I take his gun? I would like his gun. I almost wonder if this would be better on controller than mouse and keyboard.
Who are you? Stupid beast! sorry.
Okay, it controls a little bit like Arkham, so let's try it with the controller. No? No? Okay. No? Alright. Doesn't want to do controller. It's fine. I guess we'll stick with mouse and keyboard. It's also kind of stronger than a human, if I'm honest. He seems kind of strong. Well, he is a vampire, so... Or a vampyr, I would imagine. So I bet he is stronger.
It's on to us.
No, please, stop!
Oh.
Who are you?
Filthy piece of shit!
What do you want?
Alright, they haven't taught me to block yet, just how to switch targets. Who are you? Immediately stabs without waiting for a response. Well, I am the protagonist. We protagonists do not wait for responses if they're not given to us in cutscenes.
I mean you no harm. I need help.
Die, you fucking leech!
Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this.
Shut up, beast!
Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name?
That'll do the rest of the job.
Just leave me.
God. Yeah, I'll have to check the settings now that I'm kind of out of tutorial land. Control? Vibration on, controls. Wonder if it's just not... You know what, this is through Steam. I bet you... I bet you the controls are off. I may have to play this in like big picture mode or something if I want to use a controller.
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide.
Right now!
Let me go!
They're still using crossbows, but they also have pistols.
I need to find shelter. Is anybody there?
Mass Effect interruption props. That's true. Sometimes the cutscenes won't save you. What is this place? Someone's random house that they have abandoned. Probably because of these weird riots and vampire attacks.
I should be safe enough here.
Fiery stakes, no less. They are quite hot. You guys know how I deal with heat. I step in all the fire every time I can.
Brother, what have you done?
Mary!
The Turing
Mary!
test? Is that a game? I've
Mary,
never played that if that's a game.
I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
I will find them. I will kill them. I mean, I know what the Turing test is, so I'm intrigued as it has to do with artificial intelligence and being able to determine if something is able to fool a human. Leeches do not fear the sun or fire, and they do not burst into flames or ashes when they are caught under rays of daylight. What just happened? Lauren just went to the door and came back with, I think, cookies. But it hurts them good. Really good. I've personally chained a vampire to a tree to see what would happen when the sun rises. Its skin blackened in a few minutes as if it was burning from the inside. Its eyes and flesh melted, and I saw its unholy bones move and squeal as the beast tried to escape all day long. In the end, only a desiccated corpse remained, which started to slowly regenerate when the sun disappeared behind the horizon. I cut its head off to finally destroy it, and when I tried the same test with fire, the bloody leech never came back from the ashes. Fire is our weapon of choice, brothers. To burn the beast is the best way to kill it for good. From Know Your Enemies by Carl Eldritch, Prywin Lita. It's a Portal-esque puzzle game. Ooh. Inching closer to a hostile takeover? Oh, Lauren's gonna love that. The guy who voices Jonathan in this game played a computer named Tom, who plays a big part in the game. Oh, but not a virus named Tom, right? By Misfit Studios? I've never played that, but I've heard it's a good game. She's seen better days.
Wait. This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is.
What are these?
We fence it and share the takings.
Where did these come from?
I suppose we are
Who made these?
undertakers. Now,
Lemon
give me
bars.
That's impossible.
Mm. Hat and wizard hat, yeah. God, lemon bars are so tasty. And this one's actually like lemony, not that awful artificial sweet kind. Kind that, you know, the second you bite it, you're just like, God, sugar. Like, it's actually got some tang and bite to it. It's great. Yeah, the wizard hat and the cat redeems are new, based off of, I think, the last Outer Wilds stream, or the one before that, where people were saying that they wanted more things to redeem. And one of them was show us the cat, and the other one was make me wear a hat. And if you guys have any other suggestions, let me know.
Sleeps under crown stone, that she might linger longer, her eyes as white as gold.
Who goes there?
A prayer for the summoned by warring song. A child born from darkness must take scent of his power.
Who's there? Are you referring to me? No! No! I still have so much to accomplish.
Shadow's fulfilling your point urges.
I still have so much left that needs doing.
I do not want another one, thank you though. Oh, I got some shillings. This is the stream, for the next, like, 4 minutes. Also, I completely missed whatever that cutscene was, so... You're a wizard, Cody. A bloody wizard. I am quite bloody. Opium. Opium and a pistol. Heck yeah. More like copium. Ah, I thought I just lost the hat.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
No! There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
Yeah, it is. It was a mysterious man spouting a prophecy before biting me in the neck. Good to know.
It never got easy.
I don't know, Johnny boy. It's gonna be pretty easy from here on out. Ooh, it's a level 2 common revolver. I can level it up. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. A good revolver, a used revolver. Oh, there we go. Hey, Eternal. How's it going? That is quite the hat. Thank you. Shadow decided to redeem that I'm a wizard. So, I'm a wizard. 15th of October. Bad sleep. Becky coughed all night, and the fever made her delirious. I heard a loud noise in the morning. It's a big machine some men brought by the banks to dig a big hole in the ground. It was some sort of mechanical shovel. Maybe I could go there and ask for some work? Becky needs medicine. 16th of October. Talked to the man with the mechanical shovel. They told me they are digging mass graves all around London. Safety measures, apparently. Is there a new epidemic? Is the flu coming back? They had no work for me. Becky slept a little last night. The foundry has been closed, and there are no more jobs nearby. 19th of October. I went to London to find some groceries and drugs. No trains. Took me the whole day to cross the Thames and come back. Becky seemed better. I made her soup she ate. I found no drugs, only a few syringes, and some sleeping pills on that black market. We have no money left. Maybe I could go to the Pembroke Hospital tomorrow. But it's so far, and I fear leaving my wife for so long. By the way, the combat is Souls-esque stamina-based. It's Souls-esque stamina-based, but very similar to, like, the Arkham games, where when you attack, you leap toward the person that you're targeting. Cody reading his music to your ears. Meanwhile, Shadow's like, voice could be better. Accent could be better. I'm not that good at accents. 19th of October. Becky threw up the meal a few hours before she ate, or after she ate. She's so frail now, it makes me cry. She says she hears voices outside at night. She says she wants to eat meat. Where would I find meat? Tomorrow I'll barricade the house to protect us from the looters. It's kind of getting a little Irish. 21st of October. The men with the mechanical shovel have stopped digging the mass grave. I heard shouts last night as they were attacked. Now there are only a few boats throwing bodies day and night into the giant hole. The smell is terrible. We should have left this house a week ago. But Becky, she refuses to leave. She'd rather die, she said with a nasty smile. Why is she torturing me so? 22nd of October. Becky just attacked me. She jumped on me from the stairs and tried to bite me. I had to smack her, but she smacked me back. I went upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom. Now I can hear her crying and mumbling downstairs. I retrieved the gun I hid in the ceiling since the war to protect the house. Now I'm ready to use it to protect myself from my own wife. 23rd of October. Could not sleep at all. Becky spent the whole night scratching at the door, asking for my help, begging me to let her in. I was too afraid to open it. I'm just waiting for her to die now. It would not be long. Pray to God it will end soon. 24th of October. I was so hungry. I tried to go downstairs this morning. Becky was sitting in the armchair by the chimney. Oh, I'm sorry, game. I'm still here. She was panting like a dog, looking at me without moving, just following me around the room with her eyes. I pointed the gun at her sore face, but she did not react. Could not pull the trigger. I went back to my room. 25th of October. The house is silent, like a tomb. No more noises. Becky's dead now. Forgive me, my love. I was unable to save you. I'll be with you soon enough. You don't mind just my regular reading voice? You appreciate the effort? Thank you, Kane. New redeem, funny accents? I'd have to do better at accents to have a funny accents redeem. I'm not quite as good as Matt is. That's a sad story. It's a very sad story. So that was his wife down there that was all bloated and covered in pustules and junk. It was real messed up. The Swedish chef. Flirty hurdy. I'll just talk in the whole time. Be completely non-PC. Thank you, Waddles. I'm glad you all appreciate the effort. Even Shadow, who is a critic.
The sun is high. I cannot leave now.
Oh, you want me to sleep? I guess I could do that. Makes sense. I could technically curse and we wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it.
That's right, Johnny boy. Just get some sleep. He's got a bad case of the milky eye, he does.
So be it.
Oh. What's this then? Why don't you
Rational thinking only.
Why don't you just go for the head? Sir? What if I don't? It gives me the option, so does it do something if I don't? Like, game, don't give me an option if you're not gonna let me do the alternative. I'm gonna be defiant. I'm gonna sit here for a minute. Shots to the head are surprisingly survivable? How would you know this, Test? Also, hey, Test. I know, right? It's forcing my hand. Just do it for me or give me the choice. Rebel. A heart shot is more likely to off you. That's fair. That is very fair. Or one to the lungs, you'll drown. Zaid. An option is two things. Well, you know, Far Cry. I think it was like Far Cry 4 or 5. At the very start, if you sit there for like, I think it's like 10 minutes or something, and just sit at the table, the guy comes back and the game ends. Zaid shot in the head and lived. Oh, I vaguely remember that. You know someone that survived a shot to the head? Crazy. That was Far Cry 4? Okay, number 4 then. But yeah, like, they don't tell you the options there. They jokingly give you the option, and they expect everyone to just leave. I got an achievement for that, From Here to Eternity. Also, how you doing, Test? How you doing, Mac? How you doing, Eternal? There was a gal that was semi-famous several years ago who took a shotgun blast to the face. I think I remember hearing about them. Welcome to Vampyr. Not sick anymore? I'm glad you're feeling better. I guess all that hard work out in the snow really worked COVID out of you, huh, buddy?
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon, who changes blinding sunlight into a glowing reflection.
Evolution. Hideout beds allow you to evolve and rest. Spend experience points to level up and improve your vampiric skills. Honestly, yeah, you felt like crap the day after, but I felt great when you were out pushing snow. Crazy how that happens. Autophagy? I don't know if that's autophagy or autophagy. I want to say autophagy. Is the only one. You drain your own blood to heal normal and aggravated damage instantly. Okay. Oh, I have a bunch of experience points that I can spend on stuff. Level 6 required? Ooh, now I got more things. Claws, Blood Spear, Shadow Mist. Okay. Okay. I don't know what these do yet, but I love the names. These are great. Your throat's still a touch of dry feeling, but that's about it. Did you get COVID-2 Eternal, or you never went and got tested? All right, so a close range strike that will cut through all living creatures in front of you. Fair enough. Close range, 220 damage. Makes sense. Blood Spear. You throw a spear made of blood, which can pass through enemies in front of you? Okay. Place a cloud of shadow at the target's feet or yours. The cloud will explode after a short time, causing heavy damage. I love the sound of all of these. They named that one after you specifically? How are claws the least boring thing? I mean, it all sounds pretty cool. This is aggressive. I have blood barrier, coagulation. Let's look at some of these, I guess. How does this evolve? So, does more damage. You cut through the flesh of your prey so deeply that you now gain blood with each hit. Okay, that's pretty cool. Or you have learned to use your claw's strength and now strike your prey with a stunning effect. Oh, straight up stun them? And eventually do significantly more damage. Wow. What about Blood Spear? You throw a large blood spear which can pass through enemies in front of you. This massive projectile will deal greater damage than before. Massive projectile. You didn't have any tests on hand and going out anywhere while 6 sounds like a bad idea. Besides, sprained foot would have kept you indoors anyway. Gotcha. So presumably probably had it and you're doing better, which is good. I'm glad you're doing better. Did you, were you able to get vaccinated at all? You think you picked Blood Spear? Yeah, Blood Spear sounds really cool. I like the idea of a ranged thing. Yeah, like I'm gonna rip this dude in half with my bare hands after stabbing him with a spear made of my own blood. God, this needs just a good metal soundtrack to it. Give me Doom. Massive sounds good to you. That's what she said. You concentrate to create 3 small blood spears which can hit all enemies facing you. Compared to the base ability, range and individual damage. Compared to the base ability, range and individual damage is reduced. Okay, but not by much. Just by a little bit. And this one, I'm very excited to read. I'm just a water bender turned blood bender. Yeah. All right, the shadow explosion has increased range and damage. Okay, cool, cool. The shadows will pool in a single place. All targets within this area are struck constantly by slithers of darkness, causing them to bleed. The vampire will directly absorb the blood from the wounds. That sounds awesome. I think I'm gonna go with Shadow Mist. I don't know anyone who doesn't like massive spears. Oh God. Yep, Kane's bisexual. Shadow, I believe,
That voice in
is
my
gay,
head.
not bisexual.
If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Yes, I'm surrounded by a bunch of handsome gentlemen that are all attracted to men. And back.
And man.
Yes. Oh, my hat. That makes sense. Turn on the Cody. Kane says hello.
Hi. Where is it? It's closed.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Yeah, but first you gotta loot everything, bro. Like, come on. Test also says hi, Lauren. She says hi. Oh, yes, give me the parkour.
Here's the leech. Here!
Come back, you!
Okay, well that's not quite parkour, but I'll take it. That is an alternate cool form of parkour.
My head's spinning.
Shadow core.
Oi! Come out, you coward!
I cannot enter.
Beast!
It's locked.
Oh, door's locked. Am I gonna learn to use my new powers soon? Ooh. Used stake. Offhand weapon. Offhand weapons can be used by pressing right. You have attacks with special effects and consume stamina. T and G? Okay, that's alright, alright. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
I'm still in Southwark.
And
I must reach the West End.
scooping what you're pooping.
Go back
Over
home.
there!
Oh.
There's one of them
Stun. Press right to use your stake and inflict stun damage. A stun enemy can be bitten.
vermin!
Press F to bite a stunned enemy. Biting an enemy provides you with blood to use, skills, and also refills your health. Who needs parkour when you can freaking teleport? I know, right? Let me just feast on this guy.
There's a strength I never knew I had.
There's a strength I never knew I had. Now that you have blood, press 2 to unleash a vampire skill. Oh. Oh. Alright, reach North Bank. Yep.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
This shouldn't be possible. Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire.
Oh, now I can straight up dodge. Hey, give me your blood. Sir? Sir, please. I need your neck, sir.
I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
That sounds super sexual, sir. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
My strength. My reflexes.
Control to target enemies for my
Not
powers?
human
Yeah, that
anymore.
makes sense. I keep forgetting that control's an option. It's kind of like out of the way for targeting, so it's weird. I'm not human anymore. I mean, you can straight up teleport. You can siphon the life out of people. You killed your sister. You shot yourself in the chest. Your king and country needs you. Join the British ranks to help the brave lads at the front. I was about to make fun of that guy for stabbing you when he had an actual human gun, but then he shot you, so it's
My
cool.
poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood.
I don't know what I'd rebind it to, honestly.
Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. I have this thirst for blood.
I killed you.
This is despicable.
Yeah, but it heals you, so what are you complaining about? Signore? Can I teleport? Oh, I can. Shoink.
The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. I cannot enter.
Oh, the doors were locked the whole time,
It's
and
locked, all right.
I did the thing that it wanted me to. Womp womp. Look at all these shillings. I'm going to be rich. Rich, I tell you. They're probably not the most sanitary way, but I mean, if it gives me a little bit of... Does it give me health?
I have this.
I think it
Thirst
just
for
regenerates my blood meter. I don't think it actually gives me health. I think I have to
What
siphon
will
humans
London
for
have
that.
to say to me?
Wait, did I just come this way? They're little Pete's.
I've so many questions unanswered.
Rats and mice are actually very clean animals. They have social grooming on par with monkeys and cats. Then, pray tell, why do they all have fleas with the bubonic plague?
Another corpse.
Do they all have the bubonic
Very
plague?
streets of London become a mausoleum.
Rifle through his pockets.
The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it.
He is a doctore.
I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
Ooh, V for my vampiric
Fresh
senses.
blood. The smell is so strong.
Shoink. The smell is so strong. Wait, I'm
Where
lost.
has everyone gone?
Calling me out of my flea problem. Shadow, you are filthy. You just found a new hideout. Here you can spend your XP while resting or craft items at a workbench. Ah, heck yeah. We got some Minecraft up in here. Refill all? Wait, do I have a gun? I do have a gun. How do I... I don't know how to swap weapons yet. Well, I only have 500 experience, so I think I'm good. Oh, I gotta go this way now. Okay. People are nasty. It's their environment, hard to keep yourself free of fleas when you live in a place infested with fleas, and on the bubonic plague, it's more likely that human lack of sanitation caused that, bed bugs more than fleas. Oh, that makes sense. Blood quality? Unknown. Details? Social circle. Hint locked, blood quality. Oh, he's just
At last,
drunk.
a little life.
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get what's coming to them.
The turquoise turtle.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Another long night?
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
Well, I care. Not thirsty, I just drained my sister and several dock workers.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle.
I told you when you first
The last
came in.
ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
It's alliteration, you see. Everyone loves alliteration.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets.
Ain't nothing bad
And
happening
I never
here.
go outside.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
Ah, and the inns have come back in style. Looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
Who is this man?
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Does his breath
A
smell?
gentleman, I guess. Well dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
Ah, he's a vampire hunter. Gotcha.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
I need to meet him.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
None of that feet stuff. We don't go for that here. You keep your feet and his feet to himself, and we'll be all right.
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get what's coming.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes.
What?
I apologize for my outfit.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
One day I'll come up with a vacuum.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle.
You got a small
This is
little pecker then,
important,
huh?
sir.
Fit
Are
right
you
there in
sure
that
no
neck.
one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
Oh.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
What's the sewer
Who
dog?
is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier
It's free,
than
but it's still a
accepting their own
monarchy. Yeah,
darkness.
it's
We can
London.
all be monsters.
Okay.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
I'll sip on your neck a little later.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Yeah, you probably should.
Hello, sir. Are you all right?
What?
Is there any way I can help you?
Why don't
I
you
don't
face
know.
me when you're talking to me?
Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina.
The teenage
if you wanna
witch.
know.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
Yeah, nothing like congregating during an
You
epidemic.
don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
I'm staying partially turned near this open door in case I got a biggity bounce, baby. Gotta get right on out of here.
What's going on around here? Where is
I
everyone?
don't have
Too
good
many
accents.
dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
Terrible accents, terrible.
The murders. What can you say about
I was a
them?
little
Bodies
Irish
found in
earlier
the
too.
streets every morning, drained of blood. It's just horrible.
It's what happens when you get stabbed, you know.
Some say
blood just
The sewer
gone.
dog is back.
The sewer dog. What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah, killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing.
Not to mention the two,
There are
like,
so many quarantine zones
puncture
in London
wounds in
now.
the side of his
It's
neck.
gotten really hard to travel across town.
I just want to talk.
His weird eyes.
I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
There's
I only see one
I was about to
customer.
say there's literally one.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
Just another Tuesday.
I'll
One
leave
of them
then.
blood-covered
Thank you.
drunks coming in here.
It's a good thing you cannot see me now, Mum.
Can I climb the ladder? Of course not. Only stairs for a distinguished gentleman.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area,
They do not pursue me.
but they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain?
Quite.
You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
Called it.
I mean you no harm, saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word with anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
Oh,
And who might you be?
okay. Press for details. Dr. Edgar Swansea. How do I know him? He hasn't given me his name yet. Guess the cross works? Yeah. Imagine suddenly being bothered by a lowercase t. Oh. Yeah, you wake up one day and you can't write T's in anything but capital. All right, I need to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I like your hat. Probably blessed too. It did have a little Jesus on it. It did have a Jesus on it. Never understood how that works. I mean, what if vampires and Christian? Oh, what was it? Was it Castlevania that we watched? Or was it What We Do in the Shadows? About vampires. And they're like, crosses don't work. I'm Hindu. Or something like that.
Like, I'm Jewish.
I don't get it. That's what it was. The power of T compels you. No, Shadow. It's the power of lowercase t compels you. Technically, it's probably the belief behind the object. I like how you're trying to capitalize all the T's. Satanic vampire, you need the reverse cross. Yeah, just hold it upside down. Ooh. Healthy, sanitized. Don't know.
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least
Power
learn the
plus
reason
compels
of
you.
your presence?
I can't
That's
do math
none of your
anymore.
concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
What? Okay, I thought it was not being a religious thing, but having to do with their predator eyes. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up afterwards.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
Who are you talking to?
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Oh, Castlevania was so good.
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
Fair.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docs have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
It's a good thing names are always capitalized with the first letter.
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Oh, sorry.
And what
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
What are your intentions with my vampire?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
You were of no help, you dingle-dong bing-bat. I'm going to loot your shillings. Track the killer, interrogate the locals. Oh, is he worth 6,000 experience? Oh.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
No. I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get what's coming to them.
Them wet boot boys. Let's talk to her
Evening,
again.
sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I know, right? Having a friendly vampire for a vampire hunter seems good for a vampire, and the reverse. Like,
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
at least going 70.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Yeah, that was easy.
What happened
I mean,
tonight?
what'd she really
He
have
was
to
dead
lose?
drunk as usual. But my God, his eyes, his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor.
And can he only move
who
in
worked at the
diagonal
canning
lines?
factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
You just discovered a hint. It reveals a secret about a citizen or someone related to them. Tom and William Bishop used to be good friends. Ooh. As a vampire, you need human blood to evolve. The blood quality bar indicates the XP you will earn if you feed on the citizen. Unlocked hints increase the amount of XP. So I don't know anything about her yet, but I know a little bit about Tom. So if I feed on Tom, eventually I'll get more experience. But I wonder if this is like a prey scenario where if I go down the feeding route, if that gives me like a bad ending later.
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit.
Silas Briarwood for Hottest Vampire of the Year. Changed my mind.
I think I'm losing my mind.
Was it Silas?
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
I don't know why I thought it was Cyrus.
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave you to...
I'll leave you to your bottle.
Jack. He didn't deserve this.
Welcome back.
No spoilers.
Did you find what you were
No
after?
spoilers.
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
As a vampire, you can force a citizen to reveal information thanks to a hint you have discovered.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Who is he?
Who is he?
William? Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Did he leave, or is he in the back?
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Mincing
I
words.
need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Yeah, sure thing, boss. You got it. Now, if you don't mind me, can I?
Are they
There's
stupid
gotta
or
be
something?
something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess.
I can go back here and they don't care. All right, cool. Cool, fine by me. Track the killer, inspect the boats. He was gonna drink Tom's blood? Yeah, he might have. He might have if we hadn't stepped on in. Not really. You'll give the whole series before you make your final judgment on it, though. At least the animation and everything looks better than those dice boxes that they came out with. He said to the north, right?
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city?
Can I swim? Oh, there's a thing here.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood.
Examine or
What's
pick up
this?
note.
Some sort of note.
Oh. Prywin orders. 30th of October. From G. McCollum to dock patrols. Object. Multiple deaths in the docks region. We believe a nasty leech is involved. Locate the beast. Purge it. And quickly. Warning. According to recent reports, this vampire is very violent. Approach with extreme caution. I know we lack men in this part of town, but don't send rookies to investigate the case. If I'm correct, we've got a frenzied one killing each night. As always, search abandoned places first. Like old houses, basements, sewers, and warehouses. Destroy the leech, brothers.
These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself.
Well, he still is armed, but I don't see any weapons.
This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
I mean, you're pretty close to it already, Buckaroo. You could, I don't know, boink. Looks like I could reach that barge. Ooh. E-G, no? Okay. You like how the accent morphs throughout the paragraph? Like I said, I am, not that great at accents. Oh, okay. I don't know how to be silent, apparently. Ranged weapons. Equip and press right mouse button to use your ranged weapon and inflict both standard damage and stun damage. Be aware that ammo is limited.
Munition. Great. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Shut that foolish mouth of yours.
Oh, that's right.
Never know McCullum to be wrong about anything.
Right. No time
I think I just healed myself.
But I've only been part of the game. Sir, can't let you through.
All the more reason to shut it, Mr. Billy. If the man says a bloodsucker's dug in here, you've got one.
Okay. Give me your blood. Oh, the controller allows you to control walking speed? Wow, that explains it. Space, X, Z, D, F, E. I guess I could just walk like this the whole time.
It's locked.
It's locked. All right, how do I equip E for details? Ah. And nope. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out how to equip this. Oh, that was my offhand. Maybe... Oh, I can only do it in my offhand. G? I can't figure out how to equip it. Change. Just equip that. Yeah, I mean I'm pressing G and it's
It's not swapping. All right, let's look at controls real quick. Okay, that's good to know. Set keybind. Switch melee Z and C. No, that's to use it, not to switch it. Press V to spot enemies around and display their enemy cards. Some enemies are more resistant to certain types of damage. There are 4 types of resistances: melee and ranged, blood, and shadow. Okay, so they're resistant to melee and ranged. Orange indicates a medium resistance, red a high resistance.
There's one of them.
Sure wish I could pick up their weapons that they drop. That would be nice. Controller definitely recommended. Yeah, apparently. Too bad the controller is not working. It's probably because it's picking it up as a PlayStation controller and not an Xbox controller like the game wants it to be.
I like their screams when you burn them alive.
That's this nest of them cleaned out.
I like how the guy has no idea where I am. He's just like, well, that's the rest of them. My buddy's dead, but that's A-okay.
We won't see any of these bastards back here again.
Get their weapons ready. The leech Fuck, he's fast!
Give me your blood. Roughly 200 points away from a takeover. Lauren, you ready to play? Nothing says a good start to a day like sucking some blood. Excuse me, Stream Deck and system sounds. I didn't tell you to turn back up. Ooh. He forgot to fast? Or he forgot fast? Oh yeah, he did forget fast. He was like, what? Oh, well, must have been the wind. It is self-defense still. They will kill you. That's true. They will kill me. I know that some of our companions consider that the best advantage we have in our fight against leeches is that they can't go out during the day. Thus, we can hunt them down when they hide, powerless in their sleep. This is a rookie mistake. First, because vampires are clever, and they have countless ruses and tricks to avoid being spotted in their den. Second, because they deploy many deadly traps to kill any intruders in what they consider their most precious sanctuary. It would cost us too much men and too much time. Too many men and too much time? To explore and eradicate vampires in their hideouts. The best tactic is to follow and destroy them when they really are vulnerable. When they hunt at night. It is much easier to attack them then, for they can easily be spotted. That's why the Guard of Prywin must evolve and deploy new tactics to hunt leeches. Small and mobile patrols, tactics based on technological advantages, modern communications. We can learn many things from the war in France. New strategy, new equipment, and new weaponry, grenades, white phosphorus, ultraviolet light, bulletproof vests, and flamethrower. It is time for the Guard to embrace the 20th century. From A New War by Jeffrey McCullum, Prywin Weeder. Prywin Weeder. Rats and hideouts. Rats are often located near hideouts. Using your senses will help you find them easier. Lead plate, common handle parts. I'm curious what the crafting system is going to be like in this game. On a workbench, you can craft medical treatments, serums, and weapon upgrades. You have enough components to improve one of your weapons. Select a melee weapon to upgrade it? I don't think I want to. I seem to be able to get a lot of different weapons, so I'm good on not upgrading. Speaking of crafting, take a quick look at that. I'm curious, like, what kind of potions...
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it.
Stuff I'll be able to do?
The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I was really hoping to get, like, the lead rod as a spear, not just a material.
As one we shall overcome.
Hey! Two-handed weapon. Right-click to use its special ability. The scythe, for instance, can be used to parry an incoming attack, inflicting heavy stun damage if timed correct. Oh, it's a used scythe? Can I equip that? That was not the button I meant to press. Z. Okay.
William, please stop. Just a sip, I promise. You are my dearest friend. You're my last and dearest friend.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Jeez.
William, my arm. I can't feel it.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Oh, there he is. I don't know how to block yet. I think it's right click, maybe? Oh, what's that bar that I'm knocking down? Is that like his stamina or whatever? Oh, now I can feed on it? Heck yeah. Ah, so that is his stamina bar. So the more I reduce that, then I can feed on him and that is the parry ability, okay. Bring it on, buddy. There we go. For a moment you felt bad for him and then he attacked again. I don't know when the parry exactly goes off. It's hard to tell. 69. Nice. Give me that sweet, sweet blood.
The Lord is my shepherd.
Oh, and I got a used bludgeon. Nice. You stuck him with the stake and knife. Much better stun damage. Yeah, I just wanted to try out the scythe because I thought it looked cool.
Stop. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr.
Oh, he's
Hampton,
Irish.
are
Catholic
you
Irish.
in there?
Okay.
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Hello, lady.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Yeah, it's a little off. There's not a good indicator of when to counter.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat, and we can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
I like this music in the background, too.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Also, loot. I don't know if I get stuff from breaking things, but I'm sure gonna try. Also, is there somewhere I can teleport? No? No. Alright. I kind of dig that this game isn't too open and freeform. I like the more linear style. I too like how he's trying to be a good guy vampire. Like, he needs to feed, but also, you know, he doesn't want to hurt people.
Where are we headed?
Yeah,
We're
unless
on
they
our way
give
to the
him no
Pembroke
choice.
Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that Skal. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
At least they didn't give me an actual choice where I had to click yes or no, but not actually give me the no option. I too am digging Dr. Swansea. I probably would have still joined him if I had the choice, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, games should never give you a choice that you can't do the opposite.
I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
I mean, who'd be better than a vampire? You can literally see blood. I can see blood. I can smell you. I've accepted Dr. Swansea's help. I will work at the Pembroke Hospital. I have no choice. The man knows about my condition, about what I've become. A vampire. I can't believe this. I don't know anything about this secluded medical facility. Everybody here will take me for what I'm not anymore. Jonathan E. Reed, the famous surgeon. I must lie to them all. The patients, to the staff. This is my new home, where I would hide from all who are after me. Where I will hide from everyone until I get a better understanding of what is going on. Take me to a hospital. Alright, so is this... No, that's locked. Wonder why you keep getting weird buffering? I couldn't tell you.
It's my turn.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, dry it all.
I've noticed Twitch has been having a lot more trouble with streaming lately.
Bastard, give me a good poke. Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
The blood quality indicates how much XP you will attain from a particular citizen. The higher the blood quality, the more XP you get. Mesmerized. To drink the blood of your prey, you first need to mesmerize them to lead them out of sight from others. Your mesmerized level must be equal or higher than the citizen's in resistance. Alright, he's healthy, but I don't get much experience. Distant relative to Jesse Cox? I hope so. Okay, I guess I have no choice.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Press... first off, it's F to embrace. Clay Cox or spacebar to release him. Embracing Clay will provide a massive XP boost, but be aware that there will be consequences. Learning more about citizens and collecting their hints will gain increased experience.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Okay, so you're just... What? Are you still bleeding out? Like, you need a doctor, right? I mean, he stabbed you. Like, can I take you?
What? What happened? Did I black out? Whoa, I feel giddy. Did I black out?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I'll drink the hunters, the people that are trying to kill me, but I'm not gonna waste my humanity on...
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
But I'm not gonna waste my precious humanity on a 500 experienced citizen. Not until I learn all his dirty little secrets. Okay, apparently I cannot heal myself right now.
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I have patients to attend.
So sorry, Dorothy. Let us go.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new
I
staff
literally
members,
just got
no matter
here.
how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank
I
you.
did do a good deed.
Nurse
I'm a
Crane,
good
isn't it?
guy.
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Alright. Ooh, 2,000 for feeding on you. But I can get more by learning her secrets. She's a pillar. Like a pillar of the community, or is a pillar like a... like a title. Like a nurse title. You'd sack your humanity for 2K experience?
I would like to ask a few questions first.
What does that even mean, Test?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
I think she's got a crush on him.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Got it.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
You guys be flirting in my chat?
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke?
Wouldn't be the first group of people I've brought together. Can I talk to you?
Good evening, sir.
I can talk to everyone, can't I?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks,
Oh, he's the
ambulance
porter.
driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Oh? Well, okay. Wait, test is taken. Test, how could you do this to me, buddy?
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
I thought what we had was
Are
special.
you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
That's fair. That's very fair.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
All right, Genghis Khan. Calm down there.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
Hey,
You
free
left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Your life in London. Oh, that's the hint that I can't do. So personal questions. Okay, a lot of hints. Fair enough. Let's trade.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
I haven't even used one yet, but I'd love to. Ooh. My boy's got a shotgun. Oh. I sure hope I will get a lot more ammo at some point. Or not ammo, but money. Oh. So I can either sell stuff or recycle stuff. Good to know. Poor timing, Kane. Poor timing.
This is no...
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Why are
Did he
you looking
really?
out of the corner of your eye?
It's a good
Quit
thing
avoiding
I wasn't
eye
hoping
contact.
to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
And both of you have my deepest condolences. I personally do not know what that's like, but I could not imagine. But I love you both, and I'm glad you're both doing better.
Do you think this
Even if it
hospital
has been a
can
while.
survive the
And if you ever need anything,
We are all volunteers.
I got you.
Here,
I'm here for you.
and we're trying to hold fast.
BB.
But how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for
Most of
recruiting
them.
talent.
Ooh.
Most of them.
Who does she not like?
Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Anyone that stands
Is
out?
there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us
I
all.
love that
here.
name, Dr. Tippett.
If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Ah, Dr. Corcoran Tippett.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Subtitle said his best. She hates a guy. There's a guy here that she's not happy about. All right.
Goodbye,
We'll
nurse.
keep on. We'll
Call
keep
me
on
if
looking.
you need assistance.
I'm proud of you too, Test. I know that's really hard. Like I said, I can't imagine what it's like, but I've had my lonely times, and I can only imagine it's worse than those. And if it is, then my God, you deserve all the hugs, a nice glass of whiskey, and maybe a good stew.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening,
Oh, it's
Doctor.
Milton again.
Still trying.
Yep, still trying
Goodbye,
to save lives. Good evening, Milton. Goodbye, Milton.
Dr.
Good evening,
Swansea is
Milton.
right.
Goodbye, Milton.
This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Hello.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke
Why doesn't
Hospital.
anyone ever look me in the eyes?
And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me.
Thelma
mortal.
and
You're
Louise.
nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Oh, I like this. Ooh, what is a Brunswick stew? Oh, so I can't mesmerize her because her resistance is too high.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood
Hugs for
is
everyone.
the only drug I need.
Because I've got creepy white vampire eyes. If I were anyone else that met someone with, like, white eyes, I don't think I'd be able to look away from their eyes. Could you look away? Yeah. See, Lauren just said she met someone with eyes like that. She was spooked, but she could not look away.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Ooh, that sounds so good. Tess, I need to ask you how to make some good, like, stews, because I've got the crock pot stew down. I can throw a bunch of stuff in a crock pot with some veggies and some broth, and, you know, in 4 to 8 hours come out with a really good tasting stew. But I haven't quite been able to nail down a good, like, beef chuck roast type stew that you make in a pot on the stove that comes with a good thick gravy that's not, like, congealed, I guess? Like, that's not so thick that it's like its own substance.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of pustulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Oh, God, you are the best, Test.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here.
You're kind of paranoid about undercooking stuff, so you tend to let stuff go too long. That and I do like my food a bit thicker.
I can leave whenever I want.
Well, like...
As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
If she was a vampire, she could tell. So were you. You're right. If she were, she could. The crockpot is great because you stick something in there on low for like 6 hours and it's guaranteed going to be cooked. Like, you've really got nothing to worry about. If I'm doing anything other than beef, I worry about undercooking it, but beef you can get away with it, which is really nice. But it's more the gravy itself that is thicker that I find. Like, I made I think it's the Traveler Stew or something like that from the World of Warcraft book. No, Westfall Stew. I think it's the Westfall Stew from the World of Warcraft book. And in the picture, it shows it with, like, a soup broth. And when I make it, it always comes out, like, really thick. And, like, it's still moist, but it's...
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
In other news, you have no patience when it comes to cooking. Not bad enough to try and rush stuff and burn it, but having a crockpot going would drive you insane. Usually if you put it on high, it takes like 4 hours. If you can last 4 hours, like, do it right after you make breakfast or eat lunch or something, and then it'll be ready in time for dinner. Parasite that used to make you sick from pork has been eradicated. Oh. Test. Lauren gasped in, like, what sounded like happy surprise, and then she went, wait, who said that? And then I told her it was Test, and she went, I don't trust that.
No, not because it's
Not eradicated, just less common because of better food safety handling. Ah. See, I would trust Mac on that. Yeah, Mac said it's not eradicated, just less common because of better food safety handling. And those dulcet tones were brought to you by Lauren. That was her most famous song, Mac.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me, for I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
You got it, Thelma. I can ask more? Ah.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Oh yes, certainly, certainly.
I'll leave you,
Okay.
Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I like Thelma. Thelma's my new favorite. Shadow, I'm sure there's a black market for tapeworms that you could find. Do they hurt? I don't think I'd want to know. In the name of mercy, they depend on you. Nurses are needed now. Inquire at the nearest appointments office of the Ministry of Labor and National Service, or write to 15 Kingsway, London.
The pain.
Now go find Louise. Yeah.
It's here again.
Is this Louise?
Good evening, sir.
Oh,
can I help?
That is
Unless
a sir.
you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've
You did?
recently taken the position
Hey!
of head surgeon here.
Good job.
War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
I remember hearing about that. People using
Goodbye for
tapeworms
now,
for
Mr.
dieting. All right, I feel like if I talk to everyone, I'm gonna be here forever.
It's here again.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
I want to talk to them all, but I don't want to talk to them all.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
How does it make sense to be given a math problem when the book gives no explanation on how to solve it? It doesn't, but I've had many teachers do that to me. Google and tutors are your friend. Or, you know, email your professor and be like, I don't understand this. Give me something new. Give me something different.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
No, I'm not talking to Vincent van Gogh.
I was gonna say, is it Van Gogh?
Like Thelma trying to mesmerize people? Oh, that's cute. I'll have to try and witness that.
Do you know Tom Watts?
She says she
the
is.
bartender from the Turtle.
She's got cards.
I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
What's the math problem, Waddles? I don't know
Who
if
should
anyone
I
here is a
avoid in
math
this
genius,
part
but
of
maybe
town,
we can
then?
try.
Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
That's what everyone says. I want someone to give me the gossip.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Yeah, like, I love lore and I want to sit here and talk to every single person, but I feel like it's not entertaining to watch. And as much as I love it, I'm also not not as entertained to just sit here and go through every dialogue tree with every single person. Like, I want to advance the story. I want to know what
Clay
happens
Cox went
to
missing,
people.
it's his wife
So
Edwina
I think I'm going to focus on talking to the big
assistance
people
of
like this
Minion,
guy.
Booth Digby.
Got to calculate the direct and total direct costs for a project labor team. All right, you got to head to bed, work in the morning, and more snow tomorrow afternoon, and even more on Wednesday. Tess, you are going to kill yourself in snow. But you take care. I'm glad you're feeling better. Make sure to stay hydrated. If you start to feel winded or out of breath, make sure to take the appropriate amount of resting time. Don't push yourself too far. Yes, please DM me that recipe for Brunswick stew. Please,
Has
please,
the gang
please.
been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Good night. You know what? I'm gonna...
Goodbye, Mr. Ham.
Goodbye. Enter the back garden. Alright, where can I go? That's locked. Is that Thelma again? Yeah, I think that's Thelma. Alright, where's this back garden that I'm hearing people talk about? We need some action. Achtung! Is this the back garden? Is...
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody...
There we go. Oh yeah, that's significantly better when it comes to... Oh, and I'm dead. You're not gonna fail, Waddles. Is it an accounting question? Because that's kind of what it sounds like is accounting. He's 3 levels higher than me. Oh, I could take him out. Like, I'm looking at the page where it goes over it, and there is no explanation whatsoever, not even an equation or anything to use. The question was, I've got to calculate the direct and total direct costs for a project labor team. It sounds kind of like accounting. Kinda. It's kinda like accounting. Because Lauren does accounting. Maybe she can... This is project management class. Can you take a picture of it and send it in Discord and tag Krakenecki? If Lauren's willing to look at it, I don't want to volunteer her. Yep, she said no promises, but she'd be willing to at least look at it, see if she can give you a hand. Hey, whoa, Erwin, thank you. Hi and welcome. I don't know why I didn't hear the thing though. Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome to Vampyr. Puppin Suds, it's good to see you. Sarbear, welcome. C-Pat Ran. I want to call you Captain Ran. Moon Stomper, God, that's a cool name. This game rules. I'm only just now starting it. It's interesting. The voice acting is really good. I'm loving all the voice acting and stuff that's going on with it. It's super surprising to me that there's so much that they are covering when it comes to voice acting. Everyone you talk to, voice acted. The only thing that's not are like notes and stuff that you read, which is super cool. Hello, Bunny Delight, welcome. How are you all doing? Hey, Lawful. Lots of great lore and kind of timely. I've noticed that there is a lot of lore. There's a lot of people to talk to. It's almost super intimidating. Hot vampires? I haven't seen any hot vampires. But I will not, won't say you're wrong. One good bite deserves another. Yeah, we're just gonna, you know, use our vampire powers on... Oh, God. You just assumed because, you know, vampires. Well, if you look at the Steam page for this, there's a lot of people, or not a lot of people, there was at least one person who posted some sexy looking vampires, so I don't know if that is part of it or not. Sir? Sir? I am trying to kill you, sir, and I'd appreciate it if you stopped countering me. Oh, the more you stun them, the more hits it takes? Good to know. Come on, attack me. I'll dodge you this time. Yeah, there we go. Speed on him. The bosses can be super tough in this, but it's just incredibly satisfying to beat them. Ooh, I'm glad to know, because, like, so far everything's been super easy so far until I found these guys. There's at least one sexy vampire. Yes! You platinumed this game last year. It was such a pain in the butt. Oh my god. Cosmic, I could not imagine. So far with just, like, the amount of dialogue trees I've seen, I couldn't imagine what it takes to platinum this game. I bet it's a lot, so props to you. Sir, please stop. I will be informing the constable post-haste. Sir, I would appreciate it if you could just give me a moment of respite. You know what? I'm not gonna bother both of those. Cosmic, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Squires. Cosmic is a gamer god. I believe it. Anyone who is willing to sit down and platinum a game, I fully believe it.
It's locked, all right.
See, Pat Ran, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Squires. Happy to have you here. To give you a little rundown on who I am and what I do, my name is Cody. I otherwise go by Drillion, and I play a lot of story games. I just like playing through story games, sitting here, chatting with you guys. C-Pat. Okay, you got it, C-Pat. I enjoy story games and lore and action games and challenges and puzzles. Like, give me the gambit of games and I will most likely play a little bit of everything. I love it. And I like to do voices. I'd like to...
I will not let you down, my boy.
Hello. I don't know what you're doing in here.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Poor Mortimer. Yeah, I do voices. I like to do voice acting. All sorts of stuff. D&D, fantasy, sci-fi, anything and everything nerdy. That's me. Redeem's bad accent. I need to get one, but unlike Matt, who can do a good bad accent, I can do a bad amalgamation of accents.
Come now, we can handle
D&D? Why, yes. You know what game's great? Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is very good. Outer Wilds is a great game, and if you've never played it, 10 out of 10 would recommend. You do spy with your little eye a certain new painting behind me, one of which I feel as though I should show to everyone.
This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
So many deaths. And what of my own life?
The pain. It's here again.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. It was supposed to be a moon. I did do that, Pup and Suds, yes. What was it, last weekend? I think it was last weekend. I went to a paint and sip with my partner and her aunt and her brother and her uncle. And they were doing a moon with some trees, and it was supposed to have like some reddish type craters in it. Space tortilla. And I kind of just got carried away with mine, and it turned more into what looks like a swirling gas giant. There's her moon. Here, bring that over here. Bring it here.
Tortilla in space.
I already showed them mine. Yeah. No, not really. Wheel of cheese in the sky. It's better this way. Now you can do the old "that's no moon." That's no moon. Moon's haunted. Heather says yours is pretty as well. She said thank you. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've never done a paint and sip or anything like that before, and I really, really enjoyed getting to do it. And that turned out so much better than I thought it would. I took some of my mini painting, I took some of my mini painting skills and applied it to it, and it turned out really, really nice. Are we supposed to pick a winner? Lauren's is the winner, obviously. Obviously. Yeah, see, Kane's got it. Lauren's wins, not even hard. Yeah, I realized I was moving around just out of habit while I was sitting here talking to you guys. I wasn't actually doing much of anything. I picked up a used hacksaw, if you're curious. Today I learned I have just come to Drillian's channel if I want to see a couple of full moons. Hold on, I mentioned mini painting. So I feel as though I need to show off this two-headed dragon that I painted a while ago. This one took me 5 or 6 hours, I think, and I don't know how good the detail really shows up on the camera. Not very well. But it's got some white highlights to it and everything. It's horrifying. Hey, I'm glad it's horrifying. Could you imagine facing that in a game of D&D? And then I've got this guy. This little Cyclops guy. Again, camera's not the best. I need to get a new one. But he turned out very nice. I have this little orc guy who I still need to shade. Why it looks so blurry to me. Hopefully it looks better to you guys than it does to me. He's on my desk over there. This guy was a lot of fun because I got to do like the little tattoos and stripes and stuff, which turned out so much better than I expected. And this one is a mini me. I think it's a dwarf. He's got a gold dragon. He's got a little penguin. 2 penguins, actually. There's back there. An umbrella, because that's a joke in Seattle. I came from Pennsylvania, where we had rain, and I brought an umbrella with me, and everyone's like, why are you carrying an umbrella? We don't use umbrellas here. Do I usually DM? I do. I am usually the DM when I play. I haven't played in a while, but I have been a player, I think, the past 2 times since my last campaign ended. There's this guy. And it's hard to see, but apparently he's got, like, orange nipples.
I'm color deficient, I should mention. So I have a hard time telling certain colors, and I have to go off of, you know, my basic understanding of color theory to get things. Putting this. Yeah, beard's getting thick. My plan is to try and do, I don't know if it would be a 24-hour stream or something, but it would be a stream with some goals, and end goal would be shaving the beard. All right, Kane, you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. I much appreciate it. It's always good to see you, buddy. You take care of yourself. Rain, what's that? You in Los Angeles? Just travel like 12 hours north and you're gonna get a lot of raid. You're about to try DMing just to finally try playing a tabletop RPG. Ooh, which one are you gonna play? And thank you, Kane. I will keep that in mind. It'll be hard to schedule, I think, with our vast disparity of time, but I will keep that in mind. Not the beard, no. I wouldn't shave it all off because that's terrible for my skin, but I would at least do like a funky pattern or something, like give myself mutton chops or a Fu Manchu or something. Yes, take care of yourself, Heather. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope Outer Wilds was good. I can't wait to talk to you about it, but you take care of yourself, get some good rest, start feeling better. It was great hanging out. Good having you. You were going to try Call of Cthulhu. Ooh. So I've played Call of Cthulhu once, and it is both really hard, but also really rewarding, and it can be a lot of fun. So I think that one will be a fun one to start with. Just make sure that your players know it's really hard. You want to ruin your friends. You picked a great game for that. You picked a great one. Easy to schedule, you know me, you stay up late anyway. Well, usually I play during the day, not too late at night. Patient is Thomas Elwood, mage age 28, male age 28. Dr. Tippett was followed by Dr. Tippett's status, convalescence. Date of admission, September 16th, date to be released, to be determined. The patient's face has been heavily burnt and disfigured by a bomb during the war. Even with the use of the strongest sedatives, he affirms to regularly endure severe pain from the wounds, as if the flames are still burning under the skin, he says. Examinations of the cicatrized tissue shows no trace of inflammation, infection, or swelling. Scars are clean. Could it be a case of persisting nerve damage? The patient never ceases to blame himself for his disfiguration. Could it be a case of guilt of the survivor? Phantom pain manifesting as a punishment for not dying with his comrades. Ooh. It's really hard and really enjoyable, yeah. My partner and I have the Arkham Horror board game, which is like Call of Cthulhu light, and it's still super tough. All right, Kane, you take care. And that's right, I forgot you work from home. I'm sure we can figure something out. A lot of Call of Cthulhu games turn into Final... Good night. Destination-style games where players are waiting to watch their horrible demise. I played a game of Call of Cthulhu with my buddy Steven. He was the DM. And I think it was a module or something that he was doing. And we went to a lighthouse. And... oh, because of the luck of tabletop RPGs, we were doing so terribly well. Like, we were doing really bad, but we were also doing really well. So we got cornered at the top of the lighthouse and stuff was attacking us. And to kill things in the game is really difficult. And the things that we were killing, like, kept coming back. And he was kind of supposed to just overwhelm us, but we were holding off for so long. He was like, you know what? These guys have earned to live. So he made the guys leave and we managed to escape. But we were like, we were going insane. We were hurting each other. We were doing all the awful things, but we weren't dying. It was great. It was absolutely great. You have ideas for fun puzzles that inevitably lead to horrible deaths? Ooh. Again, I love the sound of that. And if you need someone who is at least a semi-experienced DM to run some ideas by,
please, by all means, Dr. Tippett, Strickland, and Ackroyd, don't hesitate to let me know. Shadow. I'm gonna have to get a horny bonk emote just for you, Shadow. We were going insane, we were hurting each other, but we weren't dying. Sounds like Twitter.
This must be the place.
Sounds like Facebook to me,
It's
too.
definitely away from prying eyes.
Oh,
Relegated to the
walk?
shadows.
All right.
A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Yes. I was doing my own homebrewed campaign that was going on for a year or so, and had a lot of fun stuff planned for it, but eventually my players, like one by one, kind of started dropping out, and then I moved across the country. So stuff kind of went on permanent hiatus. Also, Pup, please reach out if you want to just bounce ideas off a DM. Yeah, Lawful. That's right. You gave me them eyes about being a DM. Does that mean, my friend, that you are a DM? Ooh, look at all these things I can get. So I can't get this yet because that's level 8. I can pick up a few things though here. That sucks. It was your New Year's resolution in 2020 to finally try playing a tabletop RPG, ideally in person. RIP. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, right when tabletop RPGs were getting so popular and then the world ends. You run a 3.5 at the moment. Ooh. I almost played in a 3.5, but there was so much going on with that, and it was so hard to match the schedule as the people playing that I never actually got to it. I wanted to try playing a Necromancer, and the DM who was running it, I started getting the feeling that he didn't want me to play a Necromancer, despite helping me try to become a Necromancer. It was really weird. Waddles, I'm so sorry. Lauren literally just went to bed. You're gonna have to save that for next time. Let's see. Warren's hostile takeover. Waddles. Refund. There you go, buddy. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. It's 9:30. She's usually in bed like an hour ago. But it won't be Wednesday, because Wednesday we are going out to the movies. There's a movie theater out here that does like a secret movie. They surprise you with just a random cult classic movie. We're going to do that Wednesday. So Thursday is going to be the next Vampyr stream. So if you come Thursday or Friday, you can get her to play. You bought the 5e Player's Handbook and everything and then weren't able to play in person. God, I'm so sorry. That does suck. That super sucks. Especially because, like, in my opinion, playing in person definitely is the better way to go. Like, I've only played a handful of times in person, but nothing quite beats getting to actually sit around the table and play with people. However, depending on how you have it set up and how invested your players are, like how much they focus, online can be just as good. Without a doubt. So, if you need help finding tools and stuff for online, Roll20 is a good free one. Tabletop Simulator, it costs like $20. You can usually get it on sale for like $5 to $9. Good for 3D, again, for just a quick simple thing if you want everyone to sit around a table. Foundry, it's a little bit more expensive. I think it's like $50 or $60, but it has so much more versatility and it's much easier to use than Roll20. Highly recommend that too. I personally use Foundry. Only one person needs to buy it instead of like Tabletop Simulator where everyone needs to buy it. So Foundry is a good one. Fantasy Grounds is also really good. It's got a lot of stuff with it. The only downside of Fantasy Grounds is its UI is kind of crappy and it takes a long time to figure out how to use everything. Oh God, the books are expensive. The books are expensive. Ugh. The books are expensive. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, it is a workout. The movie theater is super cool, Waddles. It's really neat that they do that, and it's usually cheap too. I think tickets are like $5. Roll20 can be a whole lot of fun. You honestly think you enjoy it more than in person? Yeah, Roll20 can be a lot of fun, especially if you've invested the time and the money into it. I think for a small time investment, maybe even a long time investment, Foundry might be the better option unless Roll20's changed recently. But if you invest in all the things online with Roll20, from my understanding, it can be super easy to get everything going. But wait, there's more. There is more. I'll get there once I catch up in chat. I do have the fancy editions. I bought the fancy editions because it was pretty much as the other ones when I bought them. It was like $50 a book, which is pretty much what the going rate is for them in like mom and pop store, so I just went for it. You got a lot of the 5e books, and then you realize you actually hate the edition. Lawful, you and I, we need to talk. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to it. It is a large stack. It is a workout. You're going to head out and try and find a violent shooty game to play this class in my off chances of making a passing grade, but put me in extremely bad mood. I'm sorry, Waddles. Did you send Lauren the picture on Discord for her to look at? Hey, bro, how many players' handbooks can you bench? A couple hundred, probably. They're like £1 each. I think I could do 200. Put a pin in that. The other books that I have are the Genesis role-playing books, which I have yet to actually play with, but I really want to. I did, but we didn't get far. Gotcha. I'm sorry, buddy. I wish we could be of more help. I'm not good at math. But I don't know. I guess take care of yourself tonight, you know, help you calm down, de-stress, that sort of thing. That's kind of what you need. So don't beat yourself over the head with anything. Yeah, so I have the Genesis books, and then I also have, what is this one? The core rulebook of Pathfinder and the Bestiary of Pathfinder, and I missed the other one. There was another one that I could have gotten recently. I think it was a couple of other like supplemental books. I missed picking those up. Anyway, I believe it's Pathfinder 2nd edition. I believe it's the current edition, which I think is second. Oh, I can carry serums and bullets? I've never actually played Pathfinder, but I picked them up thinking maybe I could get to that at some point. I could just give myself more health, which I think will be nice. I'm gonna love Pathfinder 2. Upgrading Bite is very useful. Well, then maybe I should upgrade Bite. Let's try that real quick. So, I have enjoyed D&D 5e. I've had fun with it. But I, as well, do not really like 5e anymore. After playing it off and on for a couple years, not a fan. It does not play as well as I want it to. What's the deal breaker for 5e? Is that what you're asking? So, 5e is a lot of fun. The way that it's set up is it's relatively easy to understand how to play everything, especially after a couple games. Like, there's nothing wrong with 5e. On many occasions, I've come close to going live on Twitch specifically for a 5e deconstruction stream so we can vent about what's bad. Upgrading blood is useful. Shadow. Lawful, I would so tune in for that. I've been told I need to do like a just chatting D&D stream. And maybe we should sit down and do that sometime. You need a PowerPoint. I don't do PowerPoints usually, but I can do monologues and I can do passionate speeches. All right, these ones for sure. Is it increasing blood absorption? Or blood capacity? Okay, so 5e. 5e, on the surface, sounds like a great RPG. It sounds like your stereotypical fantasy RPG with magic and weapons, and it sounds like it would be a blast to play through, like playing through Skyrim or a roguelike or any number of fantasy game that piques your interest and you go, I would love that. And then you start to read the rules and you play it and you begin to realize there are a lot of things about 5e that stifle the creativity in creating a class. From my understanding, 3.5 is a lot more versatile. You have a lot more options. You can do a lot more. But 5e is very linear. You don't have as many customizations as you think. Your action economy basically boils down to attack and hope you hit or wait your turn. And that's for both martial, melee, like physical classes, you know, bows and arrows, swords, axes, maces, whatever, or magic, where you're casting spells. And and maybe it's just me because I have terrible luck, but it really comes down to the numbers game. It's which side can output more damage and succeed in more hits before the other side. It really comes down to just like how, like, I don't know, like it's not as fun for me because I always roll really poorly, right? So when you constantly have to roll high to be able to succeed and do something and make a difference, and you constantly roll low, you feel like you're not doing anything in the game. you feel like you're powerless. You're supposed to be this hero, this powerful hero who can do so much, and you're constantly missing or rolling low or failing something that you're trying to do, and you don't feel like the hero. And it especially sucks when you see like your friends who are rolling really well and they are doing really well and they are nailing all these hits, and then you're just like, I feel like a freeloader. It's honestly, it's not even for when you have poor stats, it's all the time. A lot of the so because I roll really poorly, I go the way of either point buy or I think it's like allocation. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, Lawful's right. It's just bad rolls. Everything's normalized in 5e, so if you roll bad, you do bad. Basically, everything revolves around the roll. D&D 5e gets a lot more fun when there's role play, because role playing really brings out that fantasy side of it that you want it to be. That the mechanics of the game fail to do, role playing fills in. And if you have a good DM who is open to role play and who will play along with role play and lets you role play things versus strictly just rolling for them, you can feel a lot more powerful. Because like I've had passionate speeches that have fallen flat because I rolled a 5. And it's like everyone is moved, but then because I rolled badly, it didn't succeed, you know? Whereas like in other games, you can get better bonuses. So for you can get better bonuses that'll help you succeed better when you roll. For instance, what I'm thinking of is the Genesis system. Instead of rolling just a d20, you have a pool of dice with various outcomes on those dice. So instead of just numbers, you have like successes and failures and advantages and disadvantages. And the more reasons for you to have a better chance at doing stuff, the more beneficial dice you get to increase your chances of succeeding. So there is always still the chance that you might fail, but unlike D&D where it's just like, I'll give you advantage, or you have a +5 to this, it's like, all right, I'm going to give you a couple extra die to make sure that, you know, you have a better chance of succeeding. And all in all, in my opinion, it plays out better in that roleplay sense that I feel like I'm very much lacking in D&D 5e, in that like specialization of creating something and making it your own. My number one complaint about 5e is that everything is too normalized right down to the rule composition. Everything's bland. There's nothing about 5e that another game doesn't do way better. That's a very great, concise way of putting it. Literally, your only experience with D&D is watching Critical Role, so I don't know anything about the other editions and other systems. Critical Role, the reason why it's so successful is because it does a fantastic job at romanticizing what D&D could be. The problem with Critical Role is that a lot of people who have recently started getting into D&D think D&D is going to be like Critical Role, but they don't put the effort to make it more like Critical Role. And then when other people don't play like people on a Critical Role play, they get upset. and it starts like ruining the game. Not everyone is a voice actor, not everyone is an actor, not everyone is capable of putting the emotional investment into D&D like these actors are doing for their daily job. That's just the gist of it, unfortunately. So a lot of what you come across are, you know, very casual playing, which there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with casual. Yeah, for sure, what Lawful said. All interesting. I wouldn't have seen some of these complaints as being that much of a problem, but I guess it makes sense. Yeah, and I mean, you know, the first time I played D&D, I loved it. I had so much fun. I've done some crazy, wacky, zany things. It's just that the more I played it, the more I realized that there were things that I did not care for. And it happened especially with DMing. He's apologized publicly to DMs who get griefed for not being him. God, that's such a sucky situation to be in. So when I started DMing, I had a lot more experience with how the behind the scenes works as a DM, how the rules work, and how crappy it feels to see your players check out because they feel like they're not doing anything good. And I've realized I've been that player who has checked out. And when you're playing a game with each other, you want everyone to be invested. You want everyone to pay attention, whether it's their turn or not their turn. And D&D does a really hard job at keeping everyone invested in one of its core mechanics, which is combat. Combat is super, super hard to keep everyone invested in. Roleplay, usually everyone's kind of invested because there's this back and forth, there's this rapport, there's this constant interaction, as long as the conversation is interesting and it's not just like, you know, buying from an NPC or talking to some random character you're trying to romance. Like, when it's story driven, everyone pays attention. When it's a generic combat that you come across in a dungeon, people check out when it's not their turn because combat is a slog. The number one rule of DMing, Pup, is to know your players and run what they like. Fun is what's most important. 100%. Know your players, know what they're interested in, and this includes you. You are a player. Run what you would like and run what they would like. Know who your audience is going to be and make something to cater to that. And the second most important rule about D&D, break the rules. Oh yeah, I'm fully aware that CR isn't the only type of game out there and that there's many styles. Weird, my intro was also Critical Role, but I don't feel like I'm expecting a lot. And that's probably just because you've got a well-rounded head on your shoulders. You understand that there's a huge difference between these professional people who have been playing and studying D&D for years and everyone else. If they like combat, run a game that has an interesting combat system. If they like storytelling, run a story-focused system. Yes, 100%. Also, a tip about this game, try not to sleep too often or unnecessarily. When you sleep, it can advance the sickness people get and can lead to deaths if you do it all the time. Good to know. Which is why I hate 5e. It's not good. It's not a good anything system other than being a gateway drug to better RPGs. Yeah. 5e is a good gateway system. It's a good introduction. It's a good, simple one that introduces people to D&D, but a lot of the way that D&D is ran, unfortunately, has very little substance. It's a very shallow RPG. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. And for people who like 5e, there's nothing wrong with that. People can make do with a lot in a shallow system. Take Matt Mercer, for example. Take Patrick Rothfuss. Take Matt Colville. Take, you know, any number of the big DMs that are out there playing in 5e. You can do a lot with it. But, like, the important things are players are having fun and you're having fun. As long as you guys are having fun, then it doesn't matter how you play or what you're doing, as long as you're enjoying yourself. It's good for identifying what people like, because even in a shallow do-it-all system, people are going to gravitate towards what they find interesting. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Like I said, great introduction system. It's generally easy to introduce people, like how to play it and to pick up the rules, and it's very simple to, like, you know, handhold them when it comes to the rules and teach them how to make their own decisions in RPGs. And as they advance, that's when you can also introduce other things. So it'd be great to run like 1 or 2 short sessions in like D&D to get people like familiar with, like, okay, how to look at character sheets, how to dice roll, how to add things, and do stuff like that. But then I would also recommend don't focus on just doing D&D. 100% do Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu has its own like intricacies, and it does things in a different way, in a deeper way, but it's another good RPG. I've played one game of it and I have very fond memories of it. I would 100% play it again. It was difficult, it was challenging, it was fun, like, it was good. Lots of hand-holding in 5e, partially because older editions could be really unforgiving. Also, yes, you're enjoying the D&D side of vampirism? Well, when you live forever, you gotta have a pastime, and D&D, it takes a lifetime.
Dear Jonathan, I asked Nurse Crane to secure an office for you on the 2nd floor. Please forgive the austere decoration, but Pembroke Hospital is not exactly the Ritz. Sorry to let you discover your office alone, but I need to sleep a little before going back to work. I'm just a mere mortal, after all. I also gave orders to let you rest, and for the staff to never enter your room. You will be able to sleep all day without being disturbed, and work at night without raising any suspicion. I'm afraid the place is quite messy, but you'll be able to conduct your experiments here at your own pace. You'll also notice there's an open window with a scaffolding that will let you enter or exit from the hospital without being noticed. I imagine how awfully new and disturbing this all must be for you. Believe me, I have studied long enough of your species to understand what you must now be facing and feeling. Be assured I'll do whatever I can to help you in this ordeal. Know that you're not completely alone in facing it. I'm glad I met you. These dark times we are all presently facing. I hope our future collaboration will yield great results. Welcome to Pembroke, my esteemed colleague. We shall talk soon. Yours sincerely, Edgar Griffith Swansea. P.S. I left a copy of some of my notes concerning what I have discovered about Econ in the last few years. Feel free to read about it if you need some guidance, as long as you don't use this knowledge to take advantage of it. Oh, I enjoy this D&D stream with a side of vampirism. I gotcha. I'd really appreciate a vampire story about a vampire who spends his eternal life and personal fortune painting minis. Could you imagine what it would be like to be a vampire, just sitting there trying to paint your minis, and then you're just constantly getting invaded by, like, vampire hunters who are trying to kill you?
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Can I water it? Oh, that's a lot to read. Ugh, again, Buffy? And then imagine him creating, like, sculpting miniatures that he then paints from the hunters that he kills, and he starts selling them like those little angel figurines or whatever. It is a rare opportunity, and almost a privilege, to approach a vampire, to observe their most intriguing physical and psychological traits with a scientific and rational eye. Here are some of the most fascinating abilities I've personally observed over the last 10 years while interviewing a few vampires, or Econ, as they prefer to call themselves. Supernatural speed. A vampire can act and move like a mortal in all his actions, but the trained eye will spot that they have the keenest senses, and can react quicker than any mortal. On a few occasions, alarm, surprise, necessity to flee, I have seen a vampire move so quickly, it is almost as if he had vanished just to reappear somewhere else. The human eye cannot follow their movements when they act so quickly, but it is not a teleport or dematerialization. It is only a supernatural speed. For me, it is a cat-like attribute, which allows them to run, dodge, or jump longer and faster than us. I also notice that much speed seems to exhaust them, and that they are bound to physical limitations. It does write itself. He starts a supernatural D&D group, vampire, werewolf, ghost, etc. Solution, bribe the vampire hunter with a couple of painted Warhammer minis. Ooh. Ooh. That's a couple $100 right there, getting some good Warhammer minis. All the player characters are human. Places and people. Call them diners and drags. Mesmerism. One of the most powerful abilities a vampire can deploy is the capacity to force a mortal to obey them. I call this trait mesmerism, but it has nothing to do with the mortal ability to alter a subject's mental state. A vampire can bend a mortal to their will, and they can even break a mind. A vampire I interviewed even told me the more a subject tries to resist, the more permanent the damage will be, as if the vampire could literally fracture their target's psyche. The same vampire explained to me that his ability required time to master, and that the result could vary widely from one subject to another. Implant a false memory, erase a painful one, the possibilities are endless and frightening. Blood awareness. This may be the most catastrophic ability of all, concerning vampires, since it is the cause of so many tragedies for them and us. Vampires crave for blood. They must use their will to restrain themselves from frenziedly drinking every drop of blood they can see. They need blood to function and to express their full supernatural traits.
A famished vampire can be very weak, even if he cannot die of hunger or thirst. This urge, this need for blood may explain why a vampire is so aroused by it. A vampire confessed to me that blood could sometimes blind him, since its smell and attractiveness can be so strong. When he focuses, a vampire can almost see all blood around him. Inside warm bodies, through walls, on a supposedly clean weapon, etc. The same vampire even told me that he can see if a mortal has clean blood or is ill, and that in some cases, he can even sense diseases, infected clothes, or even items in a room. If this is true, it could have so many medical applications. It almost beggars belief. I roll bluff to convince my wife the jeans look good. I spend an hour grooming myself, staring at my reflection in the mirror. Or lack thereof. I roll Constitution to see if I can wake up on time in the morning with a cup of coffee to help. I roll around for 8 hours and convince myself in the morning that my short rest was a long rest. Ah, that was me last night. I went to bed at like 11 and could not fall asleep. By the time I fell asleep, I think it was like 2:30. Light Regeneration Serum. Regenerate 300 health points instantly, then 150 health points over 15 seconds. Ferrous tartrate, sodium hypochlorite solution. Neat. So I can get into
blood
alchemy.
Is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
I consider finally standing up to my toxic boss, but I roll a 1, so I convince myself I'll definitely do it tomorrow. Oof.
Not now.
I'm sorry, what are you doing in there, Doctor?
Please come back later.
Doctor, what are you doing? What are you doing, Step Doctor?
It's locked.
So I get a +4 on my bard song if I sing it in the shower, right? Yeah, but you have to roll a dexterity check to make sure that you don't slip on the soap. Oh. I guess I have to rest in bed? Alright. Solution, don't drop the soap? Ah, but it's liquid soap. What are you gonna do about that? The big bad evil guy. Liquid soap. But yeah, Pup and Suds, I'm super excited for you to get to be doing Call of Cthulhu.
I'm to stay here until my research is complete. I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals.
And I would love to hear
What about
more
my thirst for blood
about what you do.
Come on, I don't have all night.
What's going on?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
Yes, turn it back on her.
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
Hey, we about to
The
get
storeroom?
alchemical.
Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
Perfect.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Nailed it. Lawful, I would definitely love to hear more of your reasons why you don't like 5e. Beyond the simplicity of it just being too normalized. And I guess to add on to that, tack on to that, why you love 3.5. Or at least prefer 3.5.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Who are you?
It's locked, all right.
Ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation.
How do I get there?
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope.
Oh my god, he's burying them in the same mass grave. That's incredibly sad, but also touching that he went through the effort. This guy's voice is very good. Your players prefer 3.5, and I know how to run it. You prefer 2e. Oh. Could be a Shakespearean actor. I could see it. Why do you prefer 2e then? Dear love, I finally found the missing money for the fee asked by the ambulance driver to bring you to the hospital. Don't worry about nothing now except getting better, for I took care of everything. I asked some of our neighbors, and they told me that this Mr. Hooks is something of an honest crook. He may ask for extra money in exchange for a bed, but the bed is then guaranteed. Sorry I refused to pay first, and I realize now that the important thing is that you get better soon. That Pembroke Hospital is a good place, I heard, despite the bad behavior of this Milton Hooks. Ooh. I promise you that everything is okay now. I'll see you in your clean bed as soon as possible. With fondest love, Nikolai. I see. Milton Hooks. A little bit of shakedown. Man, 11 already? Time flies? Yeah, it does. I want to go take a look at the garden, if I can, and kill those two guys that were out there. I don't know where the garden is.
Disgust on every street corner.
Wait. Oh. Where's my map? Give me my map. Doesn't really... Merchant, hideout, me. Oh, okay, so the garden is this way, I think. You love 2E because it's almost all about storytelling and consequential choices. I have never played 2E, but I think I have some, an old real thin, like, SRD 1E book. And in 5e, it felt like it was all about protecting the game and nothing felt like it mattered. Totally understand. There we go. Now I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at these guys. Look at that. Watery, sturdy blood sample. Yeah. That was significantly better than when you guys first showed up. That was great. That was fantastic. You were going to run your Underdark campaign in 5e until you realized your list of house rules was more of a compendium of overhauls. Yeah, that sounds about right. Where are my abilities? Skill 1, skill 2. Why am I missing? Am I dumb? Am I looking in the wrong spot? Did I reset everything? I must have somehow. I didn't realize. I don't know how I reset them. I didn't think I had. That's super weird. Oh yeah, I can't heal. The house rules you had were more part of 2E or 3.5, or is that not the way to think of it?
I cannot enter.
I now have 3,000 experience points? I must have accidentally gotten rid of something without realizing it. How do I unequip you? Okay, so guns are used to reduce stamina? Question mark? Hey, Manusglaive. Manusglaive. Thought that said Manusglaive for a second. How are you doing today? Welcome. For me, it was more about building a sense of consequences for every direction, which the game really allows. It was first in the spirit of 2E, although adapted to fit the 5e lifestyle. You think I hit reset and then okay? I didn't think there was a reset button. I thought it was just back out. But maybe it meant reset everything and not just reset what I've currently done. Oh, you're right. I was level 3. That's not a very well-designed reset button, I'm finding out. It resets everything, which I guess is kind of nice to know that you can just reset everything, but also... Ooh. It's like every fight in 5e takes a minimum of 5 rounds. You're not off. And it just felt like it took forever, and very few individual decisions mattered, and it was just a whittling game, so you doubled all damage values. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll see if I can fix that without sleeping. I don't think I can. I think you have to rest. So I tried Shadow Mist for a little bit. It was all right. Let's just do the Claw. Claw seemed to be good. And I think I did Blood Capacity. And a little bit of health. I mean, people pay attention when that 10 damage they rolled is actually 20, and literally every attack matters. That's fair. Again, my biggest thing with 5e was just how if you rolled poorly, you did 0 damage. Nothing you did was actually worthwhile. I think it did make me rest. But at least I got my skills back, which that was weird why that didn't work. I don't know. Raising the stakes for every action gets people involved for every fight. Yeah, I could see why. That's a surefire way to make everyone pay attention to whether or not they're about to get one shot. What I started doing was I started taking your standard monster and then homebrewing a little bit. Either giving it like a little bit more health, giving it some extra abilities, some like lair actions essentially. Yeah, especially when it is so hard for characters to do. I had all my players go up against a big bad boss, and 2 of them got knocked unconscious, and one of them, which was the barbarian who was raging, managed to stay alive. But they did not kill the big bad boss. You can house rule for miss effects too, so if you miss, you deal half of your roll. So if you hit and deal 10, you actually deal 20. If you don't hit, roll damage and have it. That's a good idea. Miss damage is underutilized in RPGs, but it was a hot commodity in 4E and 13th Age. I've heard of 13th Age, but I've never actually played it or seen anyone play it. Also, what's that other one like? The 7 Rings, I think? I've never thought about doing miss damage before. Legend of the 7 Rings, yeah. Lawful is played at every tabletop RPG. That explains why he's Lawful Wood. Oh, now it'll let me pick it up. A photography of a smiling and loving couple with a few words written on the back. Milton and Pippa forever. Lawful of RPG. If you roll an attack with a longsword, 1d20 and 1d8. Oh, the trick is to have people roll attacks and damage simultaneously. Ah, yeah, I'm sure that would definitely help to speed things up. My players always got very discombobulated when rolling too many die at once, so I I kept it down to, you know, roll one at a time just because it was easier for them. Lawfulwood just sounds like a horny guard. I mean, you might not be wrong.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
So what, you steal people's stuff and then...
Please show me what you have to sell.
Sell it to other people?
It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Incredible. An enigmatic formula. Opium. Dude just straight up sells opium. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. We got ourselves our own personal bona fide opium dealer.
My sweet girl.
I'm just about ready to stop. I'm trying to find Milton to turn in his wallet, and then I'll go back up to my room and save.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I found your wallet.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
You got it, boss.
Goodbye,
Thanks
Milton.
for hanging out, Pup and Suds. It's always good to see you. I'm glad you guys could make it. Hopefully everything with Heather's stream went well. I'm glad to see that she felt well enough to stream, so that's always a good sign. Look, you know what? I'm gonna call it the end here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up that end screen as I run up to my room and save, because it's time for us all to go to bed. I have work at 6 in the morning. So sleepy time. Sleepy time is a good time. Yep. Go to bed. Everyone go to bed. It's bedtime. Bedtime, go to bed. But no, I do greatly appreciate you all hanging out. This was a lot of fun. I love talking D&D. I need to do like a D&D stream, like where I just sit here and talk about D&D and talk to other people about D&D, because every time I bring up D&D, everyone seems to love to talk about D&D. So I think we need to do a D&D stream one of these days. That being said, you all are wonderful. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. Stay hydrated. And as always, I'll see you all on the next adventure. Take care.